This past month has been what I would call a step back from my surfing. I was really happy with the progress leading up to July, and then the lack of good conditions quickly made me a bit frustrated. We had like one day with nice waves, and apart from that, it's been nothing but onshore winds and weak wind swells. This footage is from one of the nicer sessions we had. Winds were calmer than usual and there was a tiny bit of swell. It still felt like a pretty bad session to me. The truth is that pretty much every surfer in the world is going to experience step backs. Whether you're having a bad day, which can sometimes turn into a bad week, or even a bad month, whether the waves are downright bad, or whether you've hit a plateau in your progression. We've all hit the wall at some point, probably many, and chances are we will hit many more. But I feel like I am dealing with those step backs a lot better now than I did during my first 2 years of surfing. So I want to share with you what's helped me and what I'm doing whenever I feel stuck. The first thing that has helped me is realize that surfing probably is one of the hardest sports to learn, just because of how unreliable the playing field is. There is no way that you are going to have a linear progression in a fluctuating environment. This is something you cannot control, so it is important to accept that this is what you have signed up for and that it's all part of it. There are many things you can control, so focusing on those instead of what you can't control will make it easier to stay motivated. Another thing that's helped me is coming to terms with the fact that your progress depends upon the conditions you are surfing. Some people are more blessed than others based on where they are located in the world, but even in the most pristine and consistent locations, progress will fluctuate. What helped me is set realistic goals based on the type of conditions I'm going to face. For example, this past year, my plan was simple: make progress over the fall and solidify that progress through the winter. That means I wasn't trying to learn new skills over the winter, but rather maintain the ones I had learned in fall. Then with my surf trip to Panama and then spring in France, I was aiming for a new leap in progress. And once summer kicked in, my goal shifted again towards consolidation rather than trying to push my progress even further. Crafting realistic plans allows you to set attainable goals based on the quality of the waves you are going to surf. Because those goals are attainable, you will likely reach them and feel a lot better about your progression as a result. On a day-to-day basis, what is helping me stay motivated, even when the waves are bad or the winds are wrong, is focus on other skills than just riding waves. Surfing could really well be called paddling. On any day, your time in the water is split between paddling about 80% of the time, reading the ocean about 90% of the time, and you would be lucky to get 1% of that time spent riding waves. I stopped centering my surf progress around wave riding skills and started seeing my sessions as paddle training and wave reading. If I don't catch a single good wave, at least I know I am getting my paddle fitness up. And in the messier conditions, I know my wave reading is getting sharper. This has helped me a lot feel satisfied about what would otherwise be pretty deceiving sessions in terms of wave count and wave quality. Another thing that's helped me feel better about bad days is understanding that small and bad waves will expose every single flaw in your technique. If your rail catches, you're done. If you're not in the pocket, you're done. If your weight distribution is off, you're done. The margin for error in small or gutless waves is so small, And let's be honest, it is difficult to have those things exposed. It hurts the ego. It's easy to get frustrated because you cannot do the surfing you are able to do on good waves. So now, whenever the conditions are poor, I automatically tell myself that I'm going to focus on small things. A stable pop-up, a well-engaged rail with a smooth weight transfer, a well-placed turn, things like that. Dumbing it down has made my bad sessions so much more satisfying because my expectations are stepped down to a realistic scale with goals that are actually attainable. There is often a mismatch between what we expect of a session and what is truly possible. And bridging that gap is the best thing you can do to deal with poor conditions. I want to share something else that might sound cheesy, but it has definitely helped me. Whenever I'm feeling really bummed out about bad conditions, I remember that a lot of people on this planet would be happy to be where I'm at. No matter how bad the waves are, there are people who would consider those good conditions and fun waves. Ben Gravy has been inspirational to me in how he can find the stoke in pretty much anything. If you can turn away from performance when the waves don't call for performance surfing and actually enjoy the waves for what they are, you'll probably be feeling a lot more satisfied with your sessions. With all of that being said, sometimes you'll just feel like shit. I still do pretty often, if I'm honest. Those things have helped me, and I'm sure they will help you too, but we're still humans, and those emotions are normal. But even if you feel bad about it, surfing bad waves has plenty of benefits. One of them being that they keep your expectations low. It's easy as a surfer to get caught up in only going out when the conditions are nice. But by going out only when it is clean, your referential of conditions gets smaller, and it always takes better and better conditions for you to feel happy with them. However, if you keep going out when it's blown out or when it's gutless, you will always remain thankful for the slightest offshore or the smallest groundswell. Going out when it's bad will make you a happier surfer in the long run. So those are the things that have helped me, but I'm curious to hear what has helped you get over your own step backs. How do you deal with poor conditions? How do you deal with plateaus? Please share your tips in the comments so that we can all learn from each other. If this video was helpful to you, please leave it a like and subscribe if you aren't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.